Hello, I'm Shivam, a software developer at Kapstan. Today I demo our networking feature. Exposing applications running inside the Kubernetes cluster securely to the internet is not an easy task. But in Kapstan, you can achieve it with just few clicks. Just add a domain you want your application to be accessible at, and Kapstan will create a load balancer and a certificate for your domain, ensuring that the traffic between the client and the application is load balanced and encrypted. This is my demo application. In the port section, I'll add a port. So my application is listening on port 80. I'll make this port public and I'll add a path slash. So what this does is the load balancer will talk to my application on this port, and since my application is serving request on the base URL, I don't need to add any path for routing. Now I'll go to the domain section. Here I'll add the required domain. After adding the domain, Kapstan checks whether there is a existing wildcard certificate for this domain or not. In this case, it does not exist, so it will create one. For the load balancer, there are two options. I'll use the existing load balancer so that I can save some cost, and I'll add the domain. Adding the domain will start creating the certificate. Meanwhile, you can check out the application protocol. In this case, my application on port 80 is running on HTTP protocol. In case your application runs on HTTPS protocol, you can change it here. The certificate for our domain got created. The steps to validate the certificate are mentioned here. These steps are different in case of AWS versus GCP environments. I have pre-filled the certificate validation values as a CNAME record in my Route 53. I'll create this record. SLAs for AWS for validation is 30 minutes, but as per my experience, it takes no longer than 5 to 10 minutes. Let's wait for the validation to happen, and then we can go ahead and deploy our application. The certificate is configured and it's validated. Now let's go ahead and deploy our application. The application got deployed successfully, and we can see our load balancer URL here. One last step that we need to do here is we need to add our domain to load balancer URL mapping that I have already done here in my Route 53. This is a CNAME record. I'll just add this record here. The DNS propagation can take up to a few minutes sometimes. Let's wait for that to happen, and then our domain should be accessible. Finally, our application is accessible on the configured domain. This concludes the demo. Kapstan is your internal developer platform that empowers your developers to quickly ship features and build your product without worrying about DevOps challenges. Schedule a demo with us to learn more about how Kapstan can help you. Meanwhile, you can also read the case study from our existing customers. I hope the video was helpful. Thank you.